It's FSB Racing Friday night, Aero 88, Winston Cup, Junior and Greg Bernardo, and we're on the down end of the season here, and it's go time. Atlanta, Hotlanta, 1997. How's it going, Greg?
It's going good, Milty. Glad you can join us here, Milty. Hard week at work, and now it's time to relax a little, Milty, and enjoy what's gonna. I have to think is gonna be maybe the race of the year here with a huge, maybe our largest field of the season. Fast times at Ridgemont High at this track, Milty. This is the old Atlanta for the old guys that remember old Atlanta. Some of the youngins, Milty, might be a memory too.
Yeah, we're in the old category there.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, and the really close times here, and we were watching qualifying, and it was exciting to watch the numbers flip up there. It was Guy Pitcher, then it was Troy Knoll, then it was Hansen was up there, and but Dave Jandry gets the pole in the Lowenbrow 51, Don Johnson second, and so on and so on.
Yeah, and there, look at the qualifying order there, Milty. And also looking in the small box there, you can see our pole sitter, Dave Jandry, as he works a little happy hour practice here. Some nice looking cars here, Milty, in this Aero series, where you can have these cool body styles here from the old cars.
Yeah, we've seen Jandry, you regular fans that watch this, you know that you see that 51 car in the top 5 an awful lot. But he hasn't gotten a pole yet that I can remember. And this changes things because, with good air on the front end here, I like his chances, man.
Yeah, Milty, and why you're saying the waning part of the season now, let's bring up the points real quick. As we get away, and who I've noticed didn't show tonight, Milty, is our second place in points, Derby Don. Looks like he might miss this race, Milty, and that's going to hurt his obvious chances to claw back to Robert Bokum, but a break for the rest of the guys behind him that might take that position from him.
Yeah, there's about only 2 ways that Derby Don misses a race, and that's he's in an actual derby race. That's why I call him Derby Don, or if he's taking one of his kids to a hockey game, to play. So
yeah, or sometimes work calls him away. I know he did miss a race earlier in the season. I asked him what happened. He told me that unfortunately he had to go, kind of like what you had to do, Milty, do a little out of town work to take care of business, and caused him to miss a race. But unfortunately for Derby Don, that's looks like a reality. I think once the qualifying ends, Milty, that's it. You can't get in.
Yeah, so misfortune for one means opportunity for others, and that would be the number 5 car right there.
Yes, the 5, the 83, Steve Weber, having a great season in the Aero season, Milty. Quiet, staying out of trouble, so when he doesn't have the best car, Milty, he's getting max points from his finishes, and that's a testament to some good driving skills, tough setups here in the Aero series. There's Mark Favert. Joe Cutt moved up 2 positions last week, so Joe, big winner of the top 10, and looking again now to move up with Derby Don sitting this race out, Milty. But let's get back to the racing here, Milty.
Yeah, well, you look at Balcom, and he didn't even qualify, or he spun. He's going to start in the back with the dogs. I don't know if this is a defensive move with the lead or a planned strategy. You never know from the 18 crew and Balcom Motorsports Incorporated.
And as happy hour winds down here, Milty, taking a look at some of these guys finishing up happy hour, and we see the 44 into the inside wall there.
There's a Skull Bandit.
Skull Bandit of TG Reese. There's a good car for this track, Milty. The old track, old car.
That's Rosie Greer. Who was that? That guy had Rosie Greer on his hood.
Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. As happy hour has come to an end, and we should be getting cars lining up very soon, Milty.
That makes me real old when I know who Rosie Greer was. Great football player for the Rams.
Oh, absolutely, Milty. That was my team. I'm a man without a team now, Milty, here in LA.
Yeah, well, at least you didn't go to the Raiders like I did. It's been except for a couple quick Super Bowls, it's been downhill. But getting back to this race here, got to look at Boken playing defense here, and a lot of guys are going to, throw it out there. And you were looking at you ran some laps earlier. Tell us about what you.
Yeah, Milty. These, as you know, as we've discussed before we went on the air, these setups here are aggressive yet fair. We'll call them. They're not quite the Pro Cup setups, but they're certainly not any rookie setup by any means. Car's extremely loose to start out the first few laps, Milty. As I said, as I left the pits on cold tires and not knowing what to expect, as I went into the very first turn, barely up to speed, immediately looped the car around.
Start your engine.
As we get the command, Milty, and so tiptoeing out the second time and getting the tires a little warmer. The car kind of settled in after 3 laps, Milty, and it's fast. And in the draft, it's even faster. And when your car's feeling good, you can almost flat-foot it around the whole track.
Yeah, absolutely. That's from my memory. That's what I remember from this setup. So you're right on the button there, and yeah. Plus, what these guys are going to deal with is the massive draft of a 24-car field. So they're going to have to get off the gas early, and then keep their foot on it, like we were talking, and keep that rear end from coming around. But you got to get your entry corner speed down, where you don't run in the back of the guy. So
absolutely,
you don't get run
Milty.
into. So it's a lot of things to think about while you're loose.
It is, Milty, and I think right before we went on the air, Milty, watching practice, when guys got side by side, obviously practice, they're not as intense, and maybe trying different things that maybe wouldn't normally be trying, but there was a lot of contact, and guys getting into each other. Well, like you said, with that kind of draft and a slingshot effect, can make that inside guy push up into the outside guy. So we'll see if that happens as we get the command. And Dave leads us down to turn 1, Milty.
My dad used to say, you don't know how fast you go into a corner until you spin. Pretty simple.
Yeah, and let's hope that these guys can make it through the first 2 corners here, Milty. Like I said, this setup is a little bit of a handful right at the beginning, but the tires heat up quickly, and then they kind of seem to hold their grip for X amount of laps, we'll say. And like we were talking about, pit stops, Milty, if green flags persist, we were talking about somewhere in the 30, maybe 30 plus region.
Well, we didn't make no picks, but I'm going to keep my eye on the 54. He got wrecked out like right at the start of the race. Real bummer. This kind of track he likes, and he's won in everything. He's won a GTP, Trans Am, Pro Cup, numerous wins in short track racing. Ooh. And in ovals, so let's see what he does.
See Den with just a gentle little bump off the wall there as Mark Favored and Mike Pruitt and Den there. All 3 of them were in a wad, Milty, and looked like Den got a little high there in that turn and just lightly bumped the wall. No harm, no foul.
Yeah, he's on that high line there, and he's just trying to feel the car out. That's a lot of times what a driver does when you have a loose setup. The one good way to get rid of the loose is to to slow it down and stay on the outside, let the tires come in, and then start the race.
Yeah, and then we see 69 Doug Tevick, one of your teammates there, Milty. 83 of Steve Weber, and right behind him the 777 there of Brian Wasserman.
Yep.
Someone we haven't seen very often here, Milty, but pretty cool looking car, the Dos Equis car, Milty.
Yeah, and he's a cool guy, and he always shows up prepared and runs well.
Yeah, he was fast. I saw him on the track when I was doing my little dipsy doodle, and yeah, he was fast out there.
Now he's battling Steve there. Steve's in the top 5 in points here, so
yeah, absolutely.
He's really, and there also, I'm sure there's team points involved too here. So
always, Milty.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, and Doug's also up there in the points, and so early on in this race, Milty, you got to take it easy. You don't want to wreck out early with this big field. The points hit can be dramatic here, and right behind this group that we've been watching, Milty, is the 15 of Matt Watkins and the 6 of Mark DeCenza, who we both know are extremely fast guys. And they're going to have to pick their way through heavy traffic, Milty. Maybe this was one you did want to qualify at.
Well, I think we were talking before we came on about how you can really cook a lap out at Atlanta. But it's hard to go from cooking a lap like that because what wins here is green flag runs, saving fuel and saving tires and coming on at the end. I think you're going to see those multiple race winners this season move on up. But look up at the front there, T.G. Reese up in second there.
Yeah, let's take a look back here. Good call, Milty. Yeah, T.G. powers to the inside there, Milty, and just blows by Sean. And assumes the lead here, and stacked up behind Sean as well, Milty, for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th.
The Skull Bandit team there, they're looking for a good finish. He's had some, bright spots showing some speed, but with the great competition here, he's really, looking to sustain a run up at the front.
Absolutely, yeah, and TG's had success in the series, Milty. He's been running very well. But how about some of the guys right behind the top 2 here, Milty? Some guys that we're familiar with as well. The 17, T-Roy, and 98 of Sam Young.
Well, Sam got in the booth last week after he basically parked himself and was not happy with his performance. And he's my teammate. I know how well he can run when he's got enough time to practice, right frame of mind, all that. All these guys are coming home from work, and kind of most of these guys don't get more than like 30 minutes to a half hour of practice. They rely on their experience, and they dial their stuff in and practice a couple pit stops and say, okay,
look at this, Milty.
Let's do it.
You got some 2x2 racing at the front. Looks like a glorified pace lap almost there, Milty, with Sean retaking the lead from TG, but TG keeping the hammer down on the outside. And this is maybe I shouldn't call it a 2-groove track, Milty, but you can certainly run a fast lap on the outside groove there. Not too high, not all the way on the bottom, which is probably the preferred line. But you can see some guys making some headway there on that slightly higher line.
Yeah, one of the differences between this track and the Atlanta you run now is it's much more, straight up, straighter straightaways and tighter corner entries. Where you can't, if you pinch the guy down on that higher line, which the higher line is faster than normal, you can pinch the guy down, he can't get back in the gas because the car gets loose.
Absolutely,
So
and you can see Milty. There's some slicing and dicing going on here as our pole sitter Dave Jandry has his hands full in heavy traffic. There as 47 of Josh Elliker dives underneath him, and the 80 of Ed Finley goes high, a little too high maybe there, and up into the grays, but holds on to it and kind of trying to use that momentum of the high line there. But maybe a little too high there as he falls back a couple positions as Bill Yarbrough and Ken Hansen get underneath Ed there.
Yeah, I think from memory, this track is one of those places when you're up at front, the pressure really gets to you because the draft from the cars behind, they can make passes. Whoa, that's some close stuff there. T-Roy in the 17, he's come to play today.
And
he's
Sam
in the top three here. Sam wants a piece of him.
Yeah, and Sam really has one gear, Milty, whether he admits it or not. I know because I've seen him race many times in the short track series, which he's the mod of. He has one gear, and that's go, and he'll find a high line, low line, middle line. He'll take one of those lines, and he'll get around you.
Yeah, I've seen him dent the heck out of that right side pretty good too, and win races. Beat me at Milwaukee in the IROC cars a couple of seasons ago. I was like, I got this. I ran out of gas and had to coast by, and he passed me, but it was a great battle, man.
And you can see he's not giving hardly anything away here on that outside line, as I talked about, Milty. What draft does come into play here, so the inside line gets lined up. It can play a part in that, but as you can see, Sam really keeping the hammer down and really not losing any track position to the 17 and the 47, as Jandry gets slightly on the apron there, but holds on to it.
Yeah, you can't get jazzed up for this, man.
Just some great racing, right? Basically right in front of the leaders, and as you can see, Milty, the leaders have not gotten away with these guys running 2x2, so lap times are very impressive here, Milty.
Yeah, they're in the 30s, fastest lap. I'm sure that was earlier, probably in the run, but. They will fade off. Let's look. No, they're still in the 30s. So that is absolutely, that's qualifying speed, lap after lap.
Yeah, absolutely, Milty. And as you can see, T-Roy and Sam have hooked up on the outside there and really have kept pace with Dave Jandry and Bill Yarbrough and Ken Hansen on the inside there. And it's really some great side-by-side racing we're watching here, Milty.
Slowest you're going is 165 in the center of the corner, and you're up to 180. And with a pretty good grip in these cars. These cars are a lot of fun to drive, and they are draft dependent. And this makes for close racing here.
Yeah, and there you can see it looks like they're trying to sort themselves out here, Milty. Sam to the inside now, trying to stay in line here with Ken Hansen in front of him and T-Roy right behind him.
From first to last, 8.84 seconds, and all the cars except for the last two cars are in the draft. In the draft within a second and a half.
Yeah, and there you can see that lead pack of cars, which is quite a large pack, with still guys running side by side, Milty, just lap after lap, side by side action here. As we have Josh Elliker now on the inside of Sean Johnson, Milty, and looking for that lead.
Josh already had an impressive resume before he came to FSB, and then went through the ranks and won races and moved his way all the way to the top, and he's showing it now, and that's just what he's doing in this race.
Yeah, he's assumed the point now, and look who's come right up to second place. Dave Jandry, our pole sitter, who fell back to about fourth or fifth or so. He's just sliced his way through the field. Now he's up to second. And Bill Yarbrough, who was, again, way back there in seventh or so, has shot right up with him. And also Ken Hansen. These guys were saving a little tire, maybe, Milty.
We talked about that right at the beginning of the run. We saw them back there all hooked up, and it's neat when they make us look smart because they're doing exactly. Now they're looking at about 10 laps max to go, and they're using their tire saving advantage. Now they're starting to push, as they say in Formula One.
Yeah, Milty, and as we flip up the running order there, we see the top 10 is only separated by 1.2 seconds, Milty. And as we talked about pit stops, Milty, about 30, 35, let's say, is the window. So 6 to 10 laps, we should start seeing some green flag stops here, Milty, if this continues. But what some real door-to-door racing here, Milty, with no cautions, caution-free so far.
I would like to get at least 33 laps. Then I can make it without an extra pit stop. 34 will get you to about 136. So probably 33 will get you right there. You know, if you get 32 the first time, it'd still be a good run. But we'll have to see if they even can go that far. They're hauling butt.
And toward the back of this lead pack, we'll call it, Milty, is the 6 of Mark DeSenza, the 72 of Mike Pruitt, the 18 of Robert Bokum. Some of the heavy hitters of FSB are and we got T-Roy into the wall, Milty. Caution is not out though, so bad break for T-Roy as he got up into the wall and everyone took evasive action to get around him. And I guess they were successful in the flag stand not throwing a caution, Milty.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Looks like the 44 of Mark Fravor got in the back of him, drifted up.
And yeah, this group of guys. That's all there is to say, Milty. Yep. This group of guys here, Pops, the dog, Joe Cutt, and Brian Wasserman all had to take evasive action there as T-Roy slowed dramatically as he got into the wall, and they were all successfully navigated around him. And we stay green, Milty.
Okay. No signals yet from the on the scanner, so. And
Matt Watkins is Milty. Matt Watkins is way off the pace here.
Well, I think if you're behind,
looks like he has damage, Milty.
Oh boy.
Maybe look back on Matt Watkins a couple laps there, Milty. I don't know if I thought I saw maybe his inside, his left side door there. The driver's side door looks wrinkled, Milty.
No pit stops yet. Yeah, it looks like damage there.
Don't know if that's just, my point of view, but looks like Matt Watkins has some door damage, and he's way off the pace, and we'll see what becomes of that. If we'll be able to bang that out and salvage something here. But we go back to the front, and Josh Elliker still continues to lead. 51 of Dave Jandry second, 54 of Bill Yarbrough third. These guys have really made a power move right toward, let's say, the 3/4 point of this tire run, and have really assumed...
Yeah, I'm going backwards, and I can't find it, so...
Yeah, so maybe it's just a camera thing, Milty, and there's no damage, but Matt's certainly off the pace, which is unusual.
Yeah.
And we're hitting lap 31 now, Milty, and we don't see any of the lead group peeling in for pit stops just yet.
Is pitting. 98 is pitting, 88...
Yes, and you're right, Milty. Oh, and Sam locks him up as he crosses the line, Milty.
45, I believe it's 45 miles an hour here, so.
It sure is, Milty. And, yeah, it's a little tricky pit lane. We see the 80s also in now, Milty. And
Matt Watkins comes in.
83
locking him up to 15. He locked him up for half a football field there.
Yeah, he did. He locked him up. And as we get there. So we get the camera on Matt Watkins. It's hard to tell, but God, it sure looked like his driver's door had a little wrinkle in it, but maybe not as we take another look at it here. As he makes his pit stop. So Matt Watkins, very unusual for him. As we see the leaders pass him by, Milty. The 47 of Josh Elliker in now, and the 51 of Dave Jandry also in. Of course, Dave Jandry, our pole sitter, Milty, is going to enjoy that very first pit box. Josh Elliker in the fifth position there, Milty, or excuse me, the fourth position. So he's a few stalls back. Let's see who wins the battle here with. Josh was the leader, and let's see if Dave can take advantage of that first pit stall.
47. Did he speed? 69 coming out. Dan Francisconi in the 16. PG coming out. Yarborough still leading. He's going to have to pit this lap. This will definitely put him in the fuel window, which you seen they can make it to 34.
Yeah, we see.
Petro in, Yarborough in, and he's got the 40. He's coming out. Excuse me.
And the 47 and 51 have kept their running order. Milty, Josh able to maintain that position as they come up on some guys, and some guys are now going to go a lap down, I believe, here, Milty, in this green flag exchange.
We've seen the 54 win at every level and every kind of racing, and he knows how to make pit stops. He's a pro veteran, so. But
and there we
Matt
see
Watkins really cooked that baby, man. We saw it. We see it over and over again. Sam Young he's gotten a black flag, and on the scanner I'm hearing he couldn't clear it. The 98 is done.
Oh, that's too bad, Milty. Sam was racy toward the front of the field there for a while.
Must have got a speeding ticket or something and tried to come back in, and we missed that. There's so much action going on.
Yeah, so much action here as we continue on here. Josh Elliker, Dave Jandry, Bill Yarborough continue to be your top three.
Yarborough in third, going 34 laps. Or maybe even 30. No, he came out 34, so he came in on lap 33, and then when he crossed the line pitting, that gave him 34. So he's well within his fuel window. I think the guys that pitted a lap and 2 laps before still are, but at some point, if it stays green, they're going to have to stretch one a little bit.
Yeah, and there we see Josh and the top runners there, Milty, closing in on Matt Watkins to put him a lap down. This is something you very rarely see in FSB racing, Milty. Matt Watkins going a lap down.
Well, obviously he must have had a penalty and had to go back in for that pit stop we saw, because we sure thought that was cooking it. That's the only explanation.
I don't think so, Milty. He was the last car in the lead lap as the green flag pit stops started, and I think his car is just off. I think there must have been somehow someone got into the side of him and must have damaged that car or something. We all know Matt Watkins does not drive a lap down here, and that's what we're seeing though right now is the 47, 51, and 54 all have gotten by him. And they continue their battle. And after the exchange of pit stops, Milty, they were running nose to tail. They all come out, and they're still running nose to tail. So all did quality pit stops there.
And I do believe Scharf is a lap down there, so he's trying to fight hard there. He, along with Matt, I guess they're probably racing for position here.
Yeah, I believe that was a race for position, Milty. You're absolutely right. As we look on the running order, now that was a battle for actually 17th position, and Jim Scharf takes the position from Matt Watkins, and the 3 cars right ahead of Jim and Matt are the leaders. So if they can race around them still, Milty, somehow, some way, they could earn that lap back the hard way, which is the way you got to do it in FSB racing.
Yeah, you want to earn $20 the hard way.
And
you get Rodney Dangerfield. You don't get no lucky dogs here.
No lucky dogs, no wave arounds, no nothing. You drive by the damn leader if you want your lap back here. And we see Matt getting a little racy finally here, maybe coming to life, waking up a little here with him and Jim Shaw battling away here for 17th position. Milty, there's racing there's racing for positions at every level here.
Yeah, and you still see, from fourth on, you got a race. But, man, those three dogs in the front there, they really put a whooping on them on pit stops right there. And tire wear at the end. You really saw the 54 race against Bill Yarborough a lot. One of his great traits is, because a lot of times you can save tires just the way you want one run. But then it moves you up in the front, and somehow, no matter how hard you try, you don't save them the same second time. But Bill has got a really good knack for keeping that tire saving up and being consistent through the run.
Yeah, and the top three have separated by about 4 seconds, Milty, to the fourth place group. And these three are really cooperating here, Milty. They've run in line, in order. Not a lot of attempts at passing, if any.
There's really no need. This is
right. So this is smart racing as well, Milty.
Absolutely. You got your three guys that are 4 seconds ahead of everybody else. Then you got a couple lap cars that are still good. That if these guys get far enough ahead and the caution comes out, they'll stay in line and let these guys get their lap back. So that's what the 15 and the 23 Jim Sharf are trying to do.
Absolutely, Milty. They want to stay in contact with those leaders. So, or if the three of them mix it up a little, Milty, and an opportunity might be created. And there we see here we see the pack running fourth and beyond, Milty. The 9 of Ken Hansen leading this group. 5 of Sean Johnson right behind him. And the 88 of Joe Cutt, the 6 of Mark DeSenza there, Milty.
Nice pass. Doug Tevick gets T.G. Reese, who's faded back a little bit. But, FSB, this league pit stops so great that all these guys made nice pit stops. But you just see you got to hone every part of your game here.
Absolutely. And there we see the 18 of Robert Bokum slowly making his way up. He's in the top 10. He started about 18th or so, Milty. So Robert Bokum steady driving, moving up into position lap by lap and pit stop by pit stop. We all know one of his strengths, Milty, is tires, and also what we don't talk about with him too often is his pit stop ability is second to none as well.
Yeah, and he's got that notebook out. He's going dink to dink before the race. Okay, 49's gonna be a DNS. So I got that there. This is my point lead. I know, there's no ego involved. It's just all about racing to win championships and win races, and that's what he does. He does it clean and professional, and it's a professional sim racing league, man. You got to bring it,
Absolutely, Milty. And there we see some of those guys, some of those pros we're talking about. Joe Cutt and Sean Johnson battling side by side. Joe Cutt wants the position. Mark DeSenza going to help Joe Cutt out, but Mark and Sean are teammates there, so Mark conflicted there, I'm sure, but it looks like Sean is just a little slower than the bunch, so he's going to have to do what he's got to do there, Milty. And Joe Cutt and Mark DeSenza complete the pass.
Shows you the parity of the league. We've seen some combined races of the 6 and the 5 being way up farther ahead in the running order, but the parity in this league and the differences of tracks and guys' skill and how much time they got to practice, how much everything goes into vault, and they're just natural ability at some tracks. And all of a sudden, you're seeing some different names there. You're seeing the 53 running up there. You were seeing and now you got the 9. Of course, the 9, we've seen him top five. And
Yeah,
we
we've
got to
seen
know
him have
too.
some.
He's just consistent, man.
You're right, Milty. We've seen Ken pull off a couple top fives here early on. I believe he has, a multitude of top tens as well. So and certainly he's very capable, and he's very capable of winning a race. Like I said, Milty, we talked about this. When you look at the entry list here, you can imagine a lot of these guys winning a race, and you can say, if this goes right for them, they could win this race. And all three of the guys we see leading in this top three, Milty, all of them, if they won this race, and I told you, if you never saw it, you wouldn't be surprised. You'd say, yeah, I would be surprised that they would win this race.
David gets by the 5 now, and he's taking a look at the 88.
Yeah,
starting to get his groove a little bit.
And as we talked about earlier, Milty, the top three again have just stayed in line, just beautifully, almost like a test session here, Milty. And they are just logging laps and not fighting each other, not doing anything, and it's really paid off for them. The lead has come down, but they're just driving so smooth and so easy right now.
Yeah, you got to finish. To finish first, you got to finish.
It sounds funny, but it's so true. As we see Jim Scharf there falling behind, he was a lap down, so he's not going to fight some of these other lead pack cars, of course, now that he's out of touch with the leaders. And the 18 of Robert Bokum, 88 of Joe Cutt, and 69 of Doug Tvik all get around him.
Oh, boy. Whoa.
Yeah,
Scharf got loose right there.
A little slice and dice there, Milty. Just a little slice and dice.
Tvik was almost sideways there because he had a run on the 88. He saw it, but he's every race is more experienced, and you also got to have peripheral vision, and your head's got to be on a swivel because you also got to see. He saw the 23 out of the corner's eye and got out of the gas look at that. We're watching it right now. Wow.
Yeah,
that's
Milty,
damage assessment or damage control right there.
Absolutely, Milty. And Doug's car seems to be coming into him as well, Milty, as he is looking fairly fast. And again, he's one of the guys just like Robert Bokum who's trying to chase down. Seems like one of the movers. He's a goer, and hopefully he's gonna find himself in the top 5 if he keeps this up.
This is a long race too, and they're running a lot of high RPMs. The setups are usually know the numbers to get the most performance without taking a risk. So you're unlike the old days with the fixed setups where you'd be at 180 or something. Now they got enough tape where you're somewhere around 200 degrees, and but engines could be a factor with this draft and stuff. We'll have to see. Yeah,
and there we see our lead trio there, Milty, getting around 17 of T-Roy, who had the misfortune there of having some contact there with, I believe you said it was the 44 car, and T-Roy got up and got out of shape there, and looks like he's now gone a lap down as well.
Hard to survive with aero damage on these draft-dependent tracks.
Yeah, and that leaves 15 cars on the lead lap, Milty, but a host of cars just one lap down. So if we get a yellow, Milty, we're going to see some quality cars line up with the inside lane of the track. So it'll be interesting if that's a big if. These guys are driving real clean. So no cautions so far since the drop of the green flag.
The history of Atlanta, ever since the beginning days when we used to run NASCAR 3, and there was like 8 of us 11 years ago, this was like one of the first tracks where we actually had a green flag race, because we were learning the game and everything. So Atlanta's tendencies throughout the years, and as the league has developed. There's been a lot of green flag races here, so you got to totally strategize to think green flag here, and then if you get a caution, obviously the guys that are down a lap, that what else do they got to look forward to? They got to, look for that caution. But the rest of these guys just got to keep doing what they're doing, and this ain't easy. It looks like a Sunday drive out there, but 180 miles an hour going into turn one there is.
No, it's not melting, especially as these tires give away. The car does really become it becomes a little pushy, especially in the draft. The front end really wants to just stay straight as you get into these fast turns. So pedal management and tire management is important here as the waning laps of each green flag run commence, as we see the 6 of Mark DeSenza and the 18 of Robert Bokum get around the 9 of Ken Hansen as we get maybe set for a second round here, Milty.
Yeah, we're
lap
looking
62.
We're looking at probably 66 to 68 pit stops. Tuvok's trying to, after passing those cars, that takes the as DW says, takes the good off your tires, So right now he just wants to stay in line here and then still within the draft here at a second.
Yeah, and as we look at this wide shot, so you can see as many cars running as possible to see what we're going. There you see Matt Watkins still desperately trying to stay in touch with the leaders, but not an easy task as the top three have really pulled away, and they're putting laps. They're putting some decent cars a lap down. The 99 of Pops Markinson goes a lap down. The 80 of Ed Finley, who was really fast in practice and qualifying, Milty. Also now has gone a lap down, and Matt Watkins is also battling these guys for a position at the same time. As the leaders put him a lap down, Matt becomes a position battle.
Well, I think what you saw Ed talking about in the forum last week after the week before, where he got up in the front and lost it, He was like, it got a little nervous up there.
Starting to see some pit stops here, Milty, and I believe some of the leaders are in, along with Matt Watkins, who lights it up again and almost gets into our leaders. Woo! Matt Watkins aggressively entering the pit road.
Absolutely.
And there we see the 51 of Dave Jandry, 47 of Josh Elliker. We got a nice wide shot here, so we'll be able to watch them both pit at the same time. There we see the 9 of Ken Hansen now also in Milty. And Ken overshoots his pit and had to back up. So that's going to cost him a couple of seconds, Milty, on pit road. But really going to equal a lot of time on the track, as Matt Watkins comes out with a great pit stop, and he's challenging the leaders, trying to get that lap back.
Well, we just saw it. He pushed the limit there, and he knows what the limit is, and
he's got in between Josh Elliker and Dave Jandry. And let's see, as they get back up to speed, Milty, this is maybe an opportunity for Matt Watkins to get around Josh Elliker, and maybe Josh will just say, it don't matter. I'm the leader. I got to win a race and not worry about racing a lap down car, basically.
Bokum exiting pits.
Yeah, we see Robert Bokum now exiting the pits.
For them, but they need, they want more. But right now, I think they're just playing it real safe. Boca Motorsports.
And there we see Bill Yarbrough got his service, and there we see the leaders going by Bill as he gets up to speed. So again, Bill was in third. Pit stop leading. Exchange comes out in third.
Yeah, and he's got lead. He's got, of course, he's not racing for points, but
but he's also he's punched the lead lap. He's punched the lead lap a couple of times during this exchange. He's able to go one more lap than these guys, Milty, and as you said, that's what he needs to do, and maybe that will pay off for him.
Absolutely, he's a pro vet. He knows, and I know these tracks. I've run them so many times. As soon as we got on, I was like, 34. That's what he needs. 34, and then maybe a 33.
And as we look at these leaders here, Milty, the 15 of Matt Watkins has sandwiched his way in between the first and second place cars. And Josh Elliker is having nothing to do with anyone here. He's really looking great tonight, Milty. He's focused, and he's running maybe one of his best races of the season.
Well, I think, I always find myself around the 47 when I do race, and I think his style is, just like the rest of these pro drivers and sportsmen, but these great drivers. But when you get out front, you get some clean air and clean focus. You really get to see what the rest of these guys have got to deal with a lot more. So I expect in that Cheetos car that he can handle the pressure too.
Absolutely. He's
rookie champion, blah blah blah.
Yeah, exactly, Milty. When you look,
huge resume.
If you bother to look through, past winners of FSB seasons and series, you'll see his name is liberally sprinkled around in all aspects of racing, and so not a shock to see anything from Josh. It's just really nice to see. It's refreshing. We always talk about Matt Watkins, Robert Bolcom, Matt Watkins, Robert Bolcom. Not that I get tired of watching them because they teach me a lot and I learn a lot. But it's really nice to see some fresh faces up at the front and running great.
Yeah, we got the couple of teammates here trying to get their lap back now. Guy Pitra has, with the pit stop, has moved himself in the position along with Matt in second. He's in line. He's second in line, and guys in fifth. They got a chance to get their lap back.
Yeah, I think it looks like Matt's kind of settled into that position. Doesn't look like he's obviously holding back Dave Jandry in second at all. Matt is a good sportsman, so he knows his position right now, and he knows the situation.
Absolutely.
He knows that Dave and Bill Yarbrough are right there, second and third. So he doesn't gonna do anything crazy.
Yeah, if he's got damage, I'm looking at it just like you, and the side of his car looks different than everybody else's. So there's something wrong there. And but in the draft there, that helps him out. If he gets stuck out, or then the disadvantage of his damage is going to show. Right now, he's got that pack there, and I don't think DJ's ready to move yet here. Gendry's of the Slim Sim School of Racing, and the great Slim Jim Gately brought him along and turned him into a fantastic stock car driver. And Slim Jim was always about finishing at the end, and a bunch of us, and even me as a vet, I'd go into his classes and on Sundays and get instruction.
Absolutely, Milty.
What about this track, man? I'm slow, man. Oh, let me get in the car with you.
Yeah, I remember Slim Jim very well in my first go around here with FSB, and he was just an encyclopedia of NR 2003 knowledge, and could really work out the kinks in your driving very quickly too. He'd point out some things that just didn't dawn on you, and you say, "Oh, that makes perfect sense." And then all of a sudden you're driving 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10 faster than you ever thought you would be able to do.
Yeah, now you got guys like who also learned from Slim, Derby Don McCorston, also instruct people, especially new drivers. If you're new to, you watch this on the Twitch, man, I'd like to do that. I don't have the game. All you got to do is go to the website, fsbracing.com, and get hooked up, and games are still out there, wheels are out there, a lot of experience. It's the whole deal.
And then we take a quick look at the 5 of Sean Johnson, Milty, who's in 4th place, but he's 5 seconds off the top 3. So those top 3 through these 2 green flag stops, Milty, have kind of stretched to lead out. It was around 3 seconds. Now, after everyone exchanged pit stops, it's up to 5. So those guys have really squared themselves away nicely so far.
according to my calculations, Bill Yarborough should be able to make it to 101 or 102, which will easily make him in the fuel window if this thing goes green. So you got to think a couple cars that pitted a lap or two before him still are capable. If they're like 3 or 4 laps back, I don't know if they're going to make it,
Yeah, we see just 11 cars, Milty, are on the lead lap as the top 3 led by...
Oh, and Dave Jandry blows up. The 51 explodes in the middle of the corner. Holy cow.
Oh, I know. Oh, my.
Oh, my gosh. It's carnage.
Oh, yes.
Racing is over, folks. Poor Dave, man. I tell you,
man.
Well,
and the caution is out, Milty, so...
oh, man, Petra.
Yeah.
Somebody get down there. Is he breathing?
Yeah, let's take another look at that, Milty. That was ugly. The aftermath of this accident is almost as ugly as the initial. Let's see what happens here to Dave Jandry as you see him in line there with Matt Watkins and Bill Yarborough. And, yeah, he just blew up and spun the car. And, and Guy Petra got sandwiched in between Dave and the wall there, and then look what happened. The guys are just destroying themselves as they plow through the wreckage, Milty.
Wow.
And
oh, jeez. Oh, my gosh. Hard luck Bill lucked out.
Yeah, and we don't...
Did he luck out or what? The 54 went right around, and it's about time because he's been on the bad end of the stick, but man, jeez.
Wow, that was...
show that again. I want to see it again.
Yeah, that was a crazy wreck there, Milty. Let's take another look at it from Bill Yarborough's perspective as Bill's in the pits now getting his service.
47 is out. He's going to keep the lead. Bill Yarborough and Bill beats Sean out. So it'll be the 54. Then the 18. Where'd he come from? Once again.
And looking at it again,
made a huge move. Okay.
Looking at this deal again, we can see as they were driving it and nothing untoward at all, and all of a sudden the car just lets loose, and Bill Yarborough rides the high side, and look at that, Milty. That's some driving by Bill Yarborough, way up in the gray, almost kissing the wall.
He almost didn't have
no
time
damage
to do anything, but no, he hit the brakes, and yeah, definitely. Now I'm watching it again. I'm a few seconds behind because I'm watching it on the live feed. I'm too lazy to move it back on mine, but wow.
And
this ain't over, folks. I'm gonna step away for a sec. I'll be right back.
And as Milty steps away, we see our leader Josh Elliker, but also with a quick check, we noticed that Matt Watkins did get his lap back with that yellow. Don't write off Matt Watkins by any means, folks. Damage or no damage, real or imagined. The 15 car is on the lead lap, and now he's dangerous. But the 47 of Josh Elliker, now the 54 Bill Yarborough, assumes that second position that he's going to enjoy at the expense of really bad luck by Dave Jandry, our pole sitter. He was driving strong. He's looking good. And just an unfortunate part of the game. The car let loose, engine blew. Those things happen.
Yeah, it's part of
here.
real racing too, dude. I mean, I've been around real racing and blowing motors, You just never know. Random failures suck, But
yeah,
it's like real racing,
And it doesn't show Dave Jandry as a motor. It shows as an accident, as of course he did collect the 151 of Guy Petra, and then in the aftermath of the initial contact, the 108 of Dog Palmer and others really plowed in hard, and some carnage ensued. But Milty, enough of the caution. we're green flag racing, just seconds away here as the lights are off on the pace car, and Josh Elliker is going to lead us down, but with a host of cars lap down here, Milty, including T-Roy and Mark DeSenza.
Well, Guy Pitcher is not on the channel, so he might still be in the intensive care unit.
Yeah, Guy unfortunately became the sandwich between the wall and
well, take a look at this, man.
And Dave.
Where'd the 18 come from?
Milty, while you were away,
maximized.
Yeah, the 18's like a shark. He's always lurking in the water somewhere.
Hevick up there in the fourth too, and Joe Cut.
Yeah, Milty. Also, while you were gone, I remarked on someone got their lap back, and that someone is the 15 of Matt Watkins. So
there he is.
There
he is.
He's a threat now.
B9. Who dat?
And green flags out, Milty, and 47 leads them down with some quality cars lapped down. So this will be interesting as FSB rules, no passing till the backstretch. So these lead lap cars, if they can get on the inside and get some speed going. And there's some, and TG's up into the wall.
Elliker almost lost it there. Fire coming out of his exhaust pipe there. He really had to get off the gas a couple times. Yarborough, the consummate pro,
these
got out of it, and so did Bochum. That could have been all over for those guys.
It could have been, Milty, and as I said, these setups are extremely loose to begin. As 6 and 17 battle side by side, they have gotten past our leader, 47, of Josh Elliker, momentarily as Josh gathers it back in and starts powering by the 17 of T-Roy. Nice move by Josh Elliker. His car is hooked up.
The 6 is on the tail end of the lead lap, so guess where he wants to stay. But Elliker has dominated this race by speed. They had 40 to go when we started, so these guys can add, so they're going, we can't make it. So they're going to go balls out right now.
And there we see the 18 of Robert Bochum was able to get around the 54 of Billy Yarborough, who's just been running in the top 3 the whole race.
Pops Markinson down low in the 17.
And
those
Pops,
guys are a lap down too, man.
Yeah, and there's position battles going on in between the lead lap runners, Milty, with the 17 and 99 battling position 1 lap down, and Robert Bochum trying to catch the leaders.
Saw smoke somewhere there.
Looks like we're staying green, though.
Weber up in 6th. Taking a look at Joe Cut for 5th. He needs a top 5 to keep his chances alive for this.
Yeah, and then we saw that Ken Hansen was off the pace a little, Milty. I don't know if that was the smoke.
That might have been him,
but clearly we know that Ken was running very well early on, so for him to be off the pace, I have to think that maybe he got a little loose and had to lock him up there, Milty.
Yeah, I'm going to go back while you stay with the action and take a look.
As we see, Mark DeSenza is still able to stay out in front of our leaders. 47 of Josh Elliker continues to lead, but now he's facing some pressure from a host of cars behind him. The 99 of Pops Markinson has somehow found a rail, and there's contact between Robert Bochum and T-Roy. And T-Roy goes high, but what a great save by T-Roy. Keeps it off the wall and keeps it running. He's lost a ton of position on the track, but just a great job by T-Roy of not looping that car there.
Yeah, it's not the 9, so it was somebody else.
But yeah, a little contact there, it looked like, between the 18 of Robert Bochum and the 17 of T-Roy, as T-Roy was battling with Pops there as well for lead lap car, lap down cars there, Milty. But there we see Pops is just on a rail right now, Milty.
Well, he's got the bit between his teeth. He knows he needs to get the lap back, and he's always a lot faster when he's in the top 5. Great qualifier. But in this league, but he's definitely looking for a top 10 here.
Wow, Milty, there's some hard racing. And this is the lead, and Robert Bokum now is in second, and he's going for the lead.
Well, you said he was crafty, and you said he was sly, and you're absolutely right. And he can reinvent himself, much like Matt Watkins, where he can save tires, and then he can become a bull in the China shop. Or, well, not a bull in the China shop. He's not going to wreck you, but he's going to be a bull and move up to the front.
Yeah, and I think Josh is really driving probably one eye out the front and one eye on the mirror here as these cars are racy behind him, and Pops is just really showing some power here. And he powers his way back onto the lead lap, and now he's chasing down Mark DeSenza for position now between him and Mark DeSenza, and Robert Bokum is now taking the lead, and Doug Tevick has shot up to second place, Milty, as Josh Elliker got a little out of shape there, Milty, and everyone taking advantage. 54 Bill Yarbrough, 88 of Joe Cutt, 83 Steve Weber, all take advantage of it, and Josh is going to have to get his focus back here, Milty, and keep it together.
Yeah, they know they can't make it on fuel. They're, trying to assess things. He just kind of got caught high there, and I think he knows he has the speed, but then again, once you get in line, you don't have as much aero grip on the front end of the car, so, it's a little, your car, when you're out front, it feels real good. Oh, Bill is all over the 69. Let's go to the front, big boy, he says.
Yeah, and there's some front-running racing going on here, Milty, as now Pops might have used up his car slightly as he slides back and gives up his tail end of the lead lap now as Robert Bokum got around him. Doug has gotten around him, and now Bill and Joe Cutt go around him. But the top four is scrambled now, Milty, with Robert Bokum now the leader, and Doug...
Well, now the deal is
with Doug really looking strong.
Pit. You want to go like 22, 25 and pit, get 4, stay green, or you think we're going to have another? The only caution we had is a blown motor, so. But now we got damaged cars out there, so that changes things.
It does, and Doug was all over the back bumper of Robert Bokum there, and I thought he was going to make a move, but he didn't. And now he's brought Bill Yarbrough right on his back bumper. The top three are just throw a blanket over the top three.
Knowing Doug really well, my teammate, each driver has their own way to get motivated, but I think when Doug runs at the front at the end of the race, goes into another gear. So I've seen him win a Pro Cup race like this, and seen him win some races where a lot of times you just kind of forget about him a little bit, but all of a sudden he really brings that extra little bit of intensity when he gets that roll. So he's looking really strong there. Bill just seems like he's just cruising around in the 54. Talked a lot about him tonight, but he just the car that just really sticking with me, obviously except for the 18 who just kind of came and we kind of forgot about him. He was like in 12th there for a while.
Yeah, and also keep in mind there as we look at the leaders continue to go around now. Robert Bokum, Doug Tevick, Bill Yarbrough, your top three. Mark DeSenza, the last car in the lead lap, teammate Robert Bokum, the leader. So maybe some talk there, Milty, some communication between the two. I'm sure Robert's saying, look, as long as the guys behind me stay behind me, you're good.
Yeah, I don't think they're even worried about it right now, as long as so much good communication with these teams that as soon as Mark starts to feel his car get loose, he's going to say, hey, I'm loose, instead of trying to fight his own teammate. Otherwise, it's going to be, hey, man, I got your back right here. And just do what you're doing, and we'll get the caution and get you back on the lead lap.
Yeah, no, Milty, we just started lap 99 as well, Milty. So, as you said, the window for another green flag stop is looming here.
16 cars, 17 cars running. 11 of them are on the lead lap. And the next 6 of them are only a lap down. and in contention to get their laps back. Or Mark Fravert is 2 laps down. That's really competitive racing, man.
It sure is, Milty. And the top 3 continue to stay really tight to each other. No one pulling away by any means here. The 18, 69, and 54 continue to be your top 3. And Joe Cutt now trying to join this group of 3. Joe Cutt in 4th. And look at these. Look at the battle for 5th here, Milty. The 83 at Steve Weber, the big cactus, as you like to call him, Milty, is battling our earlier dominated car, Josh Elliker.
Well, I think Josh lost the nose off that car, and it's definitely handling different. And these guys are accelerating their pace. So the race always evolves, man. Where one run you're the shiznit, and the next minute you're like, where'd these guys come from? These guys are all thinking and battling, man.
You said it, Milty. And there we see right behind that Josh Elliker, Steve Weber battle is the 15 of Matt Watkins, who's in 7th place, 3 seconds off the lead. But Matt Watkins is lurking in the background right here, Milty, and he's still dangerous, I believe.
Yeah, I've said before in broadcasts, he's got damage. He's out of this one, and he's won the race. So I'm not going to say that. And
now we have just 29 laps remaining, Milty. So when are we going to see some green flag stops here, Milty?
Well, I think they know they got to split it in 2, so they had 40. So they need to go at about 112 if they want to split it in half. And I think you're going to see variations there, and then you're going to see somebody say, "Screw it, I'm going to stay out and try to get the caution." This is really getting into these guys' minds because they're racing their asses off right now, and they also got to think about that. Whoa!
Yeah, they sure are, Milty, as Robert now has gotten around Mark DeSenza, who, again, might be feeling a little, that he's given up a little pace now. As Doug and Bill Yarbrough have been driving side by side now for almost a full lap. Finally, Doug fights him off to keep the position, but Bill Racy, Milty, he wants that 2nd position, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I know Bill, and he's gonna work him and not say and screw his tires up. He is. I don't know, man. You don't want that 54 behind you because he's not gonna touch it, but he's gonna work you until. And he's working. He's looking him down low. He's setting him up, and then comes back up in line. He knows how to get back in line and not eat his tires up.
But as those two did battle side by side, Milty, what it did is bring the 47 and the 88 in touch with them, though.
What is the
Josh Elliker? Oh, we got a caution out, Milty.
Oh, that was really hairy there. I saw the 18 slope. They managed it.
Woo!
These guys are always on the ball. Man, I mean, this stuff's not easy. 11 years of evolution, man.
I see the 5 car looks to be off the pace a little there, Milty. Possibly. I don't know if that anything was affected there, but back to our leaders here. Let's keep an eye on them, Milty, to see what they're going to do here as Robert Bokum leads them down.
Doug Tevick is retired.
Yes, that's who's missing from this. Yes. Let's take a look at Milty and see what happened. Let's take a look and see what happened to Doug Milty. There we see him get into the turn. Everything looks okay. Doug in 2nd place. He's really battling Robert Bokum there. As they take the caution, I don't know what happened there, Milty.
I'm watching right now. I'm wondering.
All of a sudden, the car slides up and into the outside wall, Milty, and then he just disconnected. I'm not sure what to make of that.
He missed pit road, and he stepped on the gas, and he threw his race away right there, man. I don't know what he was thinking, but he got back on the gas, unless his internet went out.
Yeah.
Just went down, and he stepped on the gas while he was down low there and just planted it into the wall there. No wonder he exited out. I'm sure he's not going to be happy about that. Yeah, what a shame for him.
Yeah, that's
in the lead.
Yeah, that was weird there, Milty. I don't know what to make of that. But right now we have 9 cars on the lead lap, Milty. 18 has retained the lead. 54 Bill Yarbrough second, and look who's back up to third. The 47 of Josh Elliker with fresh tires, Milty. He is a definite threat, as is who's in fifth, Milty. This is like who's on first, what's on second. Matt Watkins is on third base here, and he's looking to come home. Unbelievable, Milty. Robert Bokum started 18th. Matt Watkins started, 17th, 19th, 20th, somewhere back there as well. Both now in the top 5. Josh Elliker has been just probably the best car all night, Milty, arguably. He's been really, I think he's led the most laps as well. And, again, some of these guys are not running for the points. Some are. Our leader, Robert Bokum, certainly is. He's our points leader. Bill Yarbrough and Josh Elliker are not running for points, but they want to win, Milty.
Well, I'm still stuck on Doug there, man, because I've done those moves, man, and it'll make you sick, but... Come on, teammate. We'll get them next week.
Well,
okay, now we'll move on.
I'm not sure if...
Hey, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, Milty.
Horsepower car there, man. These cars are about 650 or so it can still just go whoop on you like nothing.
Yeah, we got the lights out on the pace car, Milty, so we're going to go green flag racing at lap 110, Milty. So that means... I
missed that. Did they pit, or they stayed out, right?
No, they pitted. Everyone pitted, Milty.
Okay.
Yeah, and everyone's got fresh tires, and Milty, as I said, they're going to take the green at lap 110, so it'll be 23 laps remaining, Milty, which is almost a sprint.
Well, and the thing is now, like we talked about qualifying, turn that one lap. Now, who's going to ratchet it up enough and still have tires left? You got to think the pace is going to be toward here. Yarbrough's scrubbing off the tires there, trying to. Of course, that's kind of a fun thing we do together, but actually, in the game, it doesn't really do anything.
It doesn't really do much, but it's something to do while you're under caution, just to pass the time. And green flag's out, Milty, and Robert Bokum leads them down.
We got a torrent, of course, FSB Racing, 10 laps to go. Lead lap cars have to go to the back. They have to pit second time by. But this isn't that case. So you got
and you got some quality
lap down cars,
right? And some quality lap down cars, as we talked about before. The 17, the 6, the 16 of Dan Francisconi as well, and also the 72 of Mike Pruitt. All our quality. Mark gets a little high right in front of Josh there. Woo! That was
that'll make you.
That'll make you pucker up a little there, Milty, as the 54 and 18 are battling for the lead. The 6 and the 17 battling lap down, and Josh Elliker right in the mix as well in third, trying to sort it all out.
Yeah, he just really hasn't got going like he did before when he was leading there. And of course, I think he's got kind of just as racing is, he's just had some deals where he's had to get out of it. But that's why he finishes a lot of races and this thing ain't over yet.
No,
last
and there's
lap
some
36.62. That's half a second off the best lap, but the tires are still coming in. So, and they're all racing hard.
Oh yeah, there's some hard racing going on right here, Milty, as Bill Yarbrough looks to the inside.
Come on, Bill.
He's still on the inside here, Milty. Let's see if he can hold on to it. Car can get a little loose on you here as you try to... Robert got a little loose on the outside, it looked like, and dove down on him. Everyone's okay. Robert continues to lead, but Bill's still to the inside. As now Mark DeSenza trying to help out his teammate. There we can see how the draft coming into play a little there, Milty.
Yeah, you got 3 Bokums out there. And of course, they're going to stick with their with the boss there, the team, and because it's just good, smart pool,
And almost some 3 wide action there, Milty, right behind them. With Den and T-Roy and Josh Elliker almost brought it out 3 wide there for a second.
Yeah, Elliker is sensing the end here now. He knows he needs to do something.
Yeah, as we say, Milty, it's worn out. It's go time, and Josh knows he cannot allow these lap cars to continue to keep him away from the top 2. He's got to stay in contact with Robert and Bill if he wants to win this race.
17 is a hard car to pass, too.
These guys, Milty, this is
he's racing for stay on the lead lap.
It's a tough predicament because T-Roy wants to stay in contact with the leaders so they can give him a lap back possibly. He's also chasing Mark DeSenza, who's right ahead of him, and he's also battling Den as well. So a lot of dynamics going on inside as Bill looks again to the inside of Robert Bokum.
He's getting a good side draft off the 6 with that. And he's still got that bottom line of lap cars and mixed cars. Oh, boy.
Mark really doing everything he can to stay behind his teammate, Robert Bokum, and continues to push him into the lead, Milty. So you can see 2 cars is better than 1 here at Atlanta 1997. And the 17 of T-Roy, though, moving up on the inside. Maybe he can help out Bill with a push as well and even out the advantage, but that remains to be seen right now as Bill continues to battle. I mean, him and Mark have been side by side for like 5 laps in a row now, and they can just gets in front of him. Wow. You could have.
This guy beat me in the 2.4 hours of Le Mans in the GTP cars. Granted, I blew up, but we were going to. He led the whole race, and he can do it all. And he's got great car control, and you're seeing him run that inside. Now he's going to fall back and try to get a run off the 6th there, but it's really tough with a teammate there.
Yes, it sure is, Milty, and right behind him, Milty, there's some really good racing going on as well. 47 of Josh Elliker still desperately trying to claw his way up to Bill and Robert, but the 15 of Matt Watkins and the 88 of Joe Cutt and the 83 of Steve Weber are also making a march to the front now.
How about the 80 of Ed Finley? He's had some hard licks this year, and he's racing for a top 10 at the end here.
Absolutely.
This is really what that program needs, is a solid top 10, to get their spirits up,
Absolutely. As Josh goes a little high there as they come out of the turn, and Matt Watkins dives low and almost contact with T-Roy. As Matt trying to get under T-Roy now and stay in contact with Josh Elliker. And Joe Cutt and T-Roy now battling door to door. Remember, T-Roy is a lap down, so not a battle for position. So hopefully T-Roy won't battle too hard, but the 16 is a battle for position.
Well, you got to look realistically if you have a chance to get your lap back, and when it's the end of the race, at some point, it's been a good fight, and it's time to let the lead lap cars win.
Absolutely, Milty.
And he's done that. He ran hard and then let him by like a good pro.
Yeah, as these final laps click away under this huge pace being set. There's only 11 laps remaining, Milty, and
Elliker's having a hard time. Hold on, and there goes the 6 wide, a little wide, but Bill got loose down low. He's going to start getting a little frustrated here with 10 to go here. He wants a race for the win, but then again, the 6 is strong, so this is all within the rules, so
it's
see it play out.
It's really hard to say that the 6 is holding Bill up, but it's still when you see that the guy that's ahead of the guy that's a lap down is the leader.
He's pushing him now. Come on, dude, let me by. Come on.
Yeah, he's kind of trying to get a nose on him there, Milty, to let him know. Come on, Mark. But Mark having none of it, and he slams the door on Bill Yarbrough. Wow, that's a door slammer by Mark DeCenza right there. And that brought Josh Elliker right up on the back bumper of Bill.
Josh needs... If Josh plays it smart now, he needs to work with the 54.
Absolutely.
Let's get the 6.
And look who's also trying to join this party, Milty, the 15 and the 88.
Watkins. He goes down low. Come on, Josh. Get down there with him.
And, it looks like Josh is going to take that low line, so we'll see if those two can work together. And Mark up high in the gray there. So
Mark let him go there. He let him go.
Yeah, that was some tough racing by Mark DeCenza. You got to respect the guy there. But
he
now,
respect. He got out of the way there.
But now Bill,
shot, you know.
Yeah, now Bill is on the warpath, though, Milty. He wants that 18 car. He wants to reel him in. I think Josh Elliker's got to work with him here a little. And Matt Watkins now joining the mix in the top 4, Milty. Matt Watkins.
I love all these guys. Of course, I love Bokum, you know, and I surely don't hate on a winner. But Elliker's saying, okay, now I want to go for some of this.
And Josh Elliker, who I mentioned earlier, Milty, I thought was probably the best car in at minimum of the first half of the race.
Absolutely, yeah.
Is showing some muscle here right as the laps come to an end, Milty, as we have 7 laps remaining.
Oh.
And tight racing as Matt Watkins is having a say now for the top 3.
Damn, Matt. You look at the side of his car. It still don't look right.
It doesn't. It looks like there's a wrinkle there on Matt Watkins. Robert's hoping the side-by-side battle is good for him. But these guys are fast, Milty, as Josh tries an outside move.
Joe Cutter, once again, you know, the Kevin Harvick of the league, he's up there again. Always fighting for the top 5.
And what a power move by Josh Elliker right there, Milty, on the outside of Bill Yarbrough, who we know how fast Bill's been all night. And Josh just powering on the outside of him. And now he's closing on Robert Bokum here as the laps.
Smoke.
We saw some smoke, you're right, Milty, but looks like we're staying green. Yes, we are. We're staying green, Milty, as the 47 looks to the inside as we have about 4 laps remaining, and Josh looks to the inside of on the 18, Milty.
Oh.
Robert giving him room to run on the inside.
Go for it, son.
The 54 Bill Yarbrough also on the inside with Josh, as will Matt Watkins right there as well.
It ain't over yet.
And the 47 has gotten around the 18, and the 54 trying to join him. As Robert...
I see a pattern here that with help there and getting caught outside, so Robert's going to try to do the same thing. Does Matt have enough to help him? Do they want to help each other? They've been winning races back and forth. Elliker's going to have his foot to the floor, I guarantee.
Whoa, and Matt
down low.
He shoots to the inside there. He really snapped the car off the turn there. As 3 laps remaining, Milty.
Come on, son.
3 laps remaining. Josh Elliker has reassumed his lead that he enjoyed in the first half of the race. But now Robert Bokum's looking to the inside of Bill Yarbrough.
He's taking a look.
And that's all he took. Look,
that's Oldsmobile, excuse me. Cheeto's Oldsmobile of Josh Elliker. I mean, Bill, Josh Elliker. I'm getting confused here.
You're getting a little overexcited here, Milty. 47 of Josh Elliker is the leader. 54 Bill Yarbrough second. 18, Robert Bokum third. Robert all over the back bumper of Bill Yarbrough. Matt Watkins desperately trying to get into the mix here, but I don't know.
On the outside. He's trying to get him on the outside.
That's what Josh did to him a couple laps ago. Now Robert Bokum trying to save move. He takes him all the way down to the white line, Milty.
No, this is the last lap. I don't think so.
Yes, it is the last. It is the white flag lap, Milty. So blocking in the last couple laps is allowed, as there's a checkered flag.
And it's Josh Elliker.
And Josh Elliker will be your winner with the 54, holding off a charging 18 car, and Matt Watkins finishing fourth.
Oh, and they bump, and that's a show of respect right there, definitely. And Bill gives him a bump too.
This is a great,
right there, man.
Great win for Josh Elliker. Big win, big field, Milty.
Right now, I guarantee.
When you win one of these races with a 25 car field, Milty, that's a win. And some shenanigans going on pit lane now, as the guys can unwind a little after a pretty intense race, Milty.
Well, we just kind of went along. This is FSB Racing, Green Flag Racing, and then January blew up, and it.
That really changed the complexion of the race, Milty. It was the Josh Elliker, Dave Jandry, and Bill Yarbrough show for about 60% of the race, and really they had the field completely covered. And then with Dave blowing up, that scrambled. That basically put the field in a spin cycle, and out came Robert Bokum and Matt Watkins.
Well, I didn't want to say this because I didn't want to jinx him, but a couple hours before the race, I texted Bill, told him, "Get your butt out there, man. I got a feeling you're going to run good tonight. You're going to run tonight." And I kept dogging him on the text, and he never got back to me, but then he showed up and finished his P2.
Yeah, he showed up, finished his P2, Milty, just 0.3 of a second.
Because I'd have jinxed him, you know.
So top four, Milty, just separated by 0.6 of a second. Some great racing by some quality drivers, and let's give some shout outs to the back half of the top 10, who we really didn't pay much attention to, Milty, because the race at the front was just so dramatic. It was hard to ignore it. But Steve Weber finishes fifth. Great run by Steve Webb. Joe Cutt sixth. Ken Hansen seventh. Ed Finley eighth. So Ed, the rookie Ed Finley, bringing home a top 10 and representing Live Fire Racing.
That's like a win for him, man.
And that's my teammate. So very proud of Ed there with a great run. And rounding out the top
stud. Right.
Yeah, and rounding out the top 10. Some guys who, anytime you finish ahead of, if in my point of view, I would feel like a win. The 5 is John Johnson, and the 6 of Mark DeSenza round out the top 10. So,
I like the racing. I like what the lap guys did, and they did it just the way I would have done it. And give it your shot. And then when your shot was over, they got out of the way, and we had a great finish. That's FSB Racing, them racing at its best. It's
absolutely
a lot of car communication out there. These guys just know what to do, and they know the rules. And great thing, man. So, do we expect the points to come up here? This definitely. Ain't gonna hurt the 18's point chances here as he gets another podium. Or do you want to drag somebody up here? Or what do you want to do?
Well, if you can get our winner, Milty, I'd love to take a quick chat with Josh and just get his thoughts on a great win.
I'll be right back. Okay, just talking to Dave Gendry real quick. They're in the team channel there. Dave hung around and cheered his teammate on. We got Josh Elliker, your winner. What's up, Josh? Great job, man.
Thank you. I'm out of breath.
Yeah, great win, Josh, and thrilling win for you. Really, you were the dominant car for the first half of the race and beyond, and then got a little. I don't know if you got shoved out of the way there, or got a little loose, but you got shuffled back there, and that must have been a little daunting to think that you could get back to the front like that.
It made me a little nervous, but I started the race with an idea that I was going to save tires, and when I got shuffled back there, everyone else wanted to run a lot harder than I wanted to at the time, and I didn't want to get off my strategy, so I just let them go, and luckily the race came back to me at that point.
Yeah, it was so impressive because you were so good out front, and kind of tricked me a little bit there, but then again, because I seen you just had a couple bad situations where you had to get out of it a little bit. But I was thinking, I wonder if he still has the car, with a little less air on the nose coming through. But man, you proved it, man. You just muscled your way to the front there. It was a great win.
Yeah, seeing those guys up front, knowing that Watkins was behind me, I know that he wasn't up front as he normally is, but you always have to worry when you see him in the mirror, and there was Robert out front, and I know he can save tires, but I think Bill racing Robert so hard there at the beginning of the last run kind of killed their tires and kind of saved me from having to push too hard. So I owe him a lot.
Yeah, that was some really great racing there at the front, and plus the lap cars that were mixed in. There was a bunch of guys one lap down that were battling not only to stay with the leaders but also for their own position. So it was a lot of intense driving there toward the end.
Yeah, that really makes things kind of hairy when you get the lap cars in there. They're on their own agenda. They're trying to get a lap back. They're racing for position. They're trying to pass the leader. They're running probably a lot harder, not worrying about saving any tires because they're in it for the short run, wanting to try to get the lap back and get out front. And when you're trying to be on a tire conservation strategy, just kind of put the blinders on, forget that you're out there racing them. It's kind of the old adage of just race the racetrack.
Yeah, well, I was man, that was impressive, man, and it was just smooth, and you just didn't get rattled. You got back right in line, was able to see how many laps you had, and then let it unfold, and you took it, man. That's awesome stuff.
It was fun. Anytime you can go out there and lead that many laps. Although, gotta say, I'm one of those people that whenever I get out front, that's when I hear everything in the car breaking apart, and I keep thinking about all the things that can go wrong. And
are they saving tires?
Yeah, I'm bad at saving fuel too, so I was a little worried about getting to a fuel run, but luckily it never came to that either. And then my teammate blew an engine, so I thought, great, well there goes my drafting partner, and who knows, maybe I could blow up. So I was kind of fueled by pessimism, but I think I won out in the end there.
Yeah, not to mention there, Josh, big field tonight, 24 guys out there. So always makes you feel good knowing that bunch of guys out there that you take a win like that.
Yeah, that makes you feel really good. I started like 7th or 8th or something, and I screwed up on my qualifying lap and thought I should have done better. But so started about 7th or 8th and just went slow and steady. I didn't want to wear anything out, and I didn't want to get too far back either. And when you come out here on a Friday night and you have a big field, you want to see a big field out here because you want to make sure that you're going up against as many of the best drivers as possible, and when you can win over a field like that, then you feel like you really accomplished something, especially with some of the best in the lineup.
Absolutely. So congratulations again, Josh. Great win.
Thank you guys, and thanks for doing this.
Absolutely, thank you.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Yeah, you want me to drag you back down there, or you can get back down to your team channel.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
All right, Milty. Well,
what can you say,
that's
man?
that was our race winner, Josh Elliker. Great run by him, and the points have been updated, Milty. So
that's the most I've heard him talk, and I've raced against him, and now I realize why he's so tough, because he's smart, man.
Yeah, you can see he had an agenda, Milty.
Absolutely.
He had an agenda from the green flag, Milty, and he stuck with it. And as I asked him, did he get he felt, the guys around him were running a pace he was not comfortable with, and he did the right thing, Milty. He backed off. He ran his line. He ran his race. He didn't worry about what everyone else was doing, and it paid off in the end because he was the best car.
Yep.
And with the updated points there, we see Derby Don really taking the hit, Milty, tumbling from second to fourth, and Bochum extending his lead from 31 to 51 over Sean Johnson now. And Steve Weber jumps up into the top three, Milty. Big Cactus. Slow and steady wins the race. He's up to third. As you can see, just 3 top 5s, 8 top 10s, Milty. But third position, which tells me that number one, he's making all the races, and number two, when he's not having the best car, Milty, he's salvaging a quality points finish.
Well, and you see guys coming in the league, and I've been here 11 years from the start, and you watch the evolution of Steve Weber being fast into being a professional sim racer, and now you're seeing every year he's got a great team, Monsoon Motorsports. He's got great teammates. He's worked at it and reinvented himself. This isn't working, and it's just becoming more and more. Him in the top 5, and he's still got a chance at this thing. But of course, he needs some serious misfortune. But the way we've seen this race go back and forth. And we've seen the points from before the race to after. How many races we got left?
Well, it's a 20-race season, Milty. That was race 15, so there's 5 more remaining.
Yeah, so that's it's a long way to go. There's still a quarter of the season left, so a lot of things can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, if anything happens to Robert, we saw what happened to him a little earlier in the season, where he had a computer snafu and missed a race, and that can happen again, and you never know. And the rest of the top 10, though, has a lot of battles on their hand. A lot of guys. With one good race and one bad race, the positions can really swap around. So some guys will be battling. If you're 6th, you want to be in the top 5. If you're top 5, you want to be top 3. So these guys won't give up. And you can see now that with Derby Don dropping, he's just 3 points out from Steve Weber though now. So hopefully next week he'll be able to race and get back on that.
Yeah, definitely, and hopefully, man, I enjoyed your broadcast Wednesday night too. I was out the Pro Cup race. That was a great race at Darlington. I was at the motel with my cell phone, and I had a little trouble getting it going. But once I got it going, I was watching it in the motel room. Technology is just amazing.
It sure is. That's great,
broadcasts are HD on my phone. I'm like that, and you really handled that broadcast. That was really entertaining, man.
Glad you were able to participate still, Milty, by at least watching. And you can see their next race here, Milty, next Friday is Dover. Original track that came with the game, the original Dover track, kind of abrasive on tires, so that will be a tire management race.
Matt Watkins.
Yeah, Matt Watkins, Robert Bochum, maybe a Josh Elliker type track. After talking with him, he seems like he knows how to save those tires too, Milty.
Well, I've raced him in Pro Cup and on Friday nights, and I kind of already knew he was smart just by racing him, but when you get to hear him talk, because we haven't talked, too much, but he's obviously, and like we said, his record speaks for itself, and it's we've had some domination here, but I think you're starting to see what the parity is in the league. But racing ebbs and flows, and you never know which one of these drivers. It could be the 47 that could get on a roll. It could be the 54. It could be, or these, guys still in the points challenge. You got to show up next week and see.
That's right, Milty, and looking forward to our next broadcast on next Wednesday, Milty Pro Cup. Will be our second race of the chase. First chase winner, Matt Watkins, just showing, really showing his strength in the Pro Cup lately, Milty. Winner of 4 of the last 5 races. He's on a roll. He's really driving the best he has all season right now, which is what you want to do in the chase. Just like the regular guys, they want to peak right in those last 10 races. For the real guys, for us, 6 races. And our next race, Milty, is the original Indianapolis. And I've already done some practice racing here because in the Rookie Cup that I'm running in, that's where we're going to be as well, of course. And let me tell you something, Milty, this track is tough, man. If you are just a little off entering those fast straightaways at Indy, you really get out of shape in the short chute and into the turns. And it's a very abrasive track on tires, and you can abuse them in 2 laps and really be screaming for tires all race long. So it should be a great race at Indianapolis.
Yeah, I mean, I've got plenty of wins there in the early days of FSB, but the modern era, these guys are so good, man. I mean, it's just unbelievable. What worked for you. This isn't your daddy's Indianapolis. It's these guys with the Pro Cup setup. They're so fast. It's unbelievable. And they manage tires better, which, like you said, places a tire grinder. But
it sure is, Milty. It really is. And both these tracks that we're going to be visiting next week, Milty, original Indianapolis and original Dover. So some throwback racetracks that come with the game, and we all know those original tracks, Milty. These guys knew what they were doing when they made this game. It's lasted 14 years, going on 11 years of the software being out. And 11-year-old software normally, Milty, is long obsolete. And this game shows its strength by the guys that made it. And these tracks are very realistic, and if you drive them hard, they punish you. If you drive them smart, they reward you. And that's the way the tracks really are.
And if you're racing against Matt Watkins at Dover, he's probably going to pass you on the last lap.
No, it's just you,
Milton. You're going to win the race. No, twice he's done that to me. Yeah, Gummit.
Yeah, okay, Milty.
You never forget about that stuff.
That's enough of your glory tales, Milty. We got to get going.
Glory days. Thanks, fans.
Thanks, Milty. Always thanks, better, Greg. Milty, with you in the booth with me. Appreciate your time and effort, and look forward to Wednesday night Pro Cup. See you then.
Excellent.
FSBRacing.com.